Hi, my name is Roger Brazier. I'm one of the counselors here at Housing and Credit Counseling Incorporated. We're a nonprofit established in 1972. We provide counseling services in Topeka, Lawrence, Emporia, and Manhattan. We are licensed and regulated by the Office of the State Bank Commissioner. We are a HUD certified agency, one of only several here in Kansas. Also, we are a National Foundation for Credit Counseling member. Today we're going to talk about how to create and manage a household monthly budget. It's sometimes referred to as zero-based budgeting, and I'll explain why it is sometimes referred to in that way here in just a second. But what we do with the budget is we create a budget before the month starts, and then as the month goes along, the budget month, we manage the budget. Two things. Creating a budget, if you've been doing it for a while, you can usually knock out a budget for the next month in about 10 minutes. If I'm new to budgeting, maybe it takes me 20 minutes. We tend to overthink the budgeting, how we're building our budget at the start. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And then managing the budget during the course of the month, minutes a day. Very, very simple. This is all very, very easy to do and extremely effective in terms of helping us to manage our money. Sometimes people think of budgeting as restrictive. It's actually empowering because we're controlling what we do with our money. We plan for the month, then we execute the plan. Build a budget, manage the budget. So, here is an example of a very simple budget form. Budgeting can be done on a piece of paper. You don't actually need to have a budget form. You can just take out a blank piece of paper and draw a few lines and do a budget. But it sometimes helps to have a form, and it can be paper, it could be a spreadsheet. Budgeting's been around forever. Computers haven't, so there's still a lot of people that do it the old school way, on paper with a pencil and a calculator. It takes a little bit longer than it would with a spreadsheet with the formulas built into it, but it works just the same either way. So we have two columns here. We have a budget column, and then we have the actual column. When we're building our budget before the month starts, we're going to be using the budget column. And at the top we have the income. And then down below the income we have the expenditures. Income and expenditures, the two pieces to a budget. When we build a budget, we're going to follow the same process that the state follows. The city, county, school districts, they budget for an entire year. We're going to do it for 1 month, but we're going to follow the same process they follow. And when you build a budget, you always start with income. So I think to myself, okay, next month am I going to get paid twice, or am I going to get paid 3 times? If I'm paid weekly, will it be 4 times, 5 times? Is there any other money that's going to come into my checking account next month? So I'm thinking ahead from the first to the end of the month, what kind of income, money is going to come into my checking account. Now I may have to guess, that's okay. I just want to make my best conservative guess. I don't want to guess too high, and I don't want to guess too low. So just best guess on what the income is going to be. And then I total it up. And in this example, I'm expecting to receive 2 paychecks next month, $1,200 a piece for $2,400. So that's my starting point for building a budget. Always start with income. That's always the starting point. Now, once I have the income determined, what money is going to come into the checking account, now I want to plan out where it's all going to go. How am I going to disperse all of that $2,400? Now, we have savings built into our budget as an expenditure because it's moving money out of the checking account into a savings account or a money market account and moving it someplace. So, and also we have savings at the very top of the list. Savings should be a priority expenditure, just like the rent, just like the food, just like the utilities, the insurance. If I don't have money set aside for the emergency that absolutely will occur, Then when that emergency occurs, if I don't have any savings set aside for it, I'm looking at using a credit card or borrowing money, or heaven forbid, I have to do a 401k loan because I didn't have any cash set aside for the emergencies that I know are going to occur. I just don't know when they're going to occur or how much they're going to cost me. So making savings a priority is very important. And if I don't have enough money for everything, and I'm paying for cable, but I'm not saving, maybe I need to rethink where my money's going to make savings a priority and get rid of the cable for a while. At any rate, I'm going to take every penny of that $2,400 I think I'm going to receive, and I'm going to plug it into the expenditures, and again, I prioritize. So rent, groceries, gasoline, if I have a car loan, car payment, debt payments, insurance, food. That's where my money's going to go first, and when I've used up all $2,400, I stop. When I'm done building my budget, my expenditures will balance to the penny, the total projected expenditures will balance to the penny with the projected income. So if I think I'm going to receive $2,400, I want to disperse all of that someplace, and I stop once I hit that $2,400 mark. That's why they call it zero-based budgeting. The difference between projected expenditures for the month always balances to the penny with total and projected income. The difference is always zero-based budgeting. So that's my plan for the month. Now, when I build my budget, again, there's going to be a fair amount of guessing that goes into it, but it's no different than for the state or the city, the county, the school district. They have to do a lot of guessing too. We just make our best guess. I know what the rent's going to be. I know what the insurance is going to be. I probably know what my cell phone is going to be. But I don't know for sure on the gasoline. I don't know for sure on the utilities. I don't know for sure on the groceries. Those things, I pay for them every month, but they fluctuate. Like I say, once I've been budgeting for a while, you get a lot better at the guessing. So that's how we build a budget. Now that we have the budget built, once the month starts, from the first day of the month through the end of the month, I'm managing my budget. So set aside this column here in terms of tweaks or anything, and I start managing, and I'm using the actual column. Now remember, we're doing some rounding up, rounding down when we build our budget, but when we manage our budget from the first to the end of the month, these are all real numbers. So if I spend $7.17 at the convenience store, I get the receipt, get home, and timely, same day, next day, enter into my budget how much I spent on whatever the appropriate line item would be. If I spend money for gasoline, get the receipt, write it down, whatever it takes, same day, next day, enter it into the budget. Now, we don't spend money 20 times a day, so, and some days not at all, but so the time it takes to do this, minutes a day. I tell people honestly, on average, I'll spend more time brushing my teeth on a daily basis than I will managing my money. And all managing my money, managing my budget entails is entering everything into the budget. Don't leave anything out, don't round up, don't round down, these are all real numbers. Now, whatever I'd guess for groceries, I can promise you what I actually spend for groceries next month is going to be higher or lower than what I guessed. Hopefully I'm guessing fairly close. But if I go over on the groceries, I'm probably going to go under on the gasoline or the utilities. The two numbers that actually matter the most with a budget are the total of what I actually receive for the month and the total of what I actually spent for the month. So if you think on the last day of the month, what did I actually receive versus what did I actually spend? Those are the two numbers that matter the most, and I always want the total of what I actually received. I always want that to exceed what I actually spent. Now we build a balanced budget, but in managing it, we want what we actually spent to be less than what we actually received. 16 cents, $16, $160. I just want to spend less than what I brought in that month. So for that 1 month period of time, I can look at my budget as a scorecard. And my scorecard is telling me that for that 1 month period of time, I lived within my means. Now, built into our budget, we're going to have typically some longer range goals. Maybe my emergency savings isn't where it needs to be, so I've got a longer range goal on a monthly basis. I'm plugging dollars, setting dollars aside. Maybe I'm saving for a trip Maybe I'm trying to bust it, get rid of some debt, so I've got some longer term goals built into my budget, but for that 1 month period of time, these are the two numbers that matter. Total of actual receipts versus total of actual expenditures. And I want the total of actual receipts to exceed total of actual expenditures. And then I do it for the next month, and then the next month, the next month. I tell people honestly, if you sit down and watch, say, Monday Night Football or an evening of TV, I'll spend more time watching worthless commercials in an evening of TV than it takes to build a budget and manage a budget the following month. That's just how little time it takes to do this, and it's very, very effective. Sometimes people think of budgeting as restrictive. It's actually empowering to actually manage our money and have a plan for where it's going to go the next month. So that's how you build a budget, create a budget. That's how you manage a budget. If you'd like to talk to one of the counselors here, it's free. We'd be happy to work one-on-one with you, teach you how to do this. Just give us a call, reach out. We'll set up a time and go over this. If you don't want to talk to one of us, that's great too. We do have some tools that we'd be happy to send to you. Just let us know where we can email. We have a budget workbook with formulas already built into it. We have an instruction sheet. We could send you a simple paper budget that you can print off and use as a paper budget. So we have a simple one-page instruction sheet. We have some other budget forms, including Excel. So if you'd like for us to help you, just reach out. We'd be happy to do so. So, thank you very much. Be safe.